Hey, it's David at Cross Country Mortgage. And I want to talk to you guys today about something that's a pretty common misconception here in our industry, and that's the difference between a pre-qualification and a pre-approval. And when we get to talking about pre-approvals, there's actually two different kinds of pre-approvals I like to go over with. So when you speak to a lender, a lot of times what you're going to get is what's called a pre-qualification, and that is not what sellers are looking for. So what's the difference between a pre-qual and a pre-approval? So pre-qualification is based on your discussion with a loan officer, the likelihood you would be approved for a mortgage. So you're really just talking about hypotheticals. You're having a discussion, you're telling the loan officer what your income is, what your credit or what you think your credit is, and what kind of assets you have available to you, but nothing is actually being verified. So as you can imagine, when a seller receives a pre-qualification letter, even though sometimes it may say pre-approval or use a different wording on the letter itself to make it sound stronger, when they read the letter, they will see based on stated income, assets, and credit. It should be saying it is not verified. Now, what is different than about pre-approval? As you can probably guess, with a pre-approval, you would have actually filled out an application. You would have provided supporting documentation, most specifically around your income, your assets, and then of course a credit check would be pulled. And at a bare minimum, a lender should be running automated underwriting software as well to verify the likelihood of your approval. So when a seller receives a pre-approval letter, it will state that all those items have been taken, or all those actions have been taken, I should say. And so as you can imagine, it's a much stronger letter when a seller is looking at multiple offers. Now, I had mentioned earlier, there is a third option that's also in the pre-approval bucket, and that is, and not every lender can do this, but we can here at Cross Country, and that is submitting a file, so a full loan package to underwriting to be fully reviewed. So you get fully credit reviewed by an underwriter, because there is some differences. A loan officer in a normal pre-approval is going to look at your income, assets, and credit, but there is more that would normally be done when you are actually submitted to underwriting that the underwriter is doing in the background. They're verifying a lot more information. And so we can submit your application pending an address to underwriting to get that full approval, and then you would receive a certificate or a letter signed by an underwriter saying you're fully credit approved, and you're only subject to property-specific documentation. Namely, it's going to be your appraisal and the title work. So assuming everything works out with appraisal, everything works out with title, no issues with the property, that seller can feel confident that you're going to be fully approved since you've already been reviewed by an underwriter. So as you can imagine, when you are serious about looking for your home, it would make sense and it's in your best interest to go through that full credit underwriting review at that time. If you have any questions, want to know more specifics, please feel free to shoot me either an email, direct message, text, or give me a call. Go old fashioned. You can reach me on my cell, which is 269-352-5461.